Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 back with another Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars 3 3/4 inch Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi Force Link First Order starter set. Now this is actually a Toys R Us exclusive, and it's the second out of the two major starter sets that were released by Hasbro under this particular line. The only other way to get the Force Link bracelet at the moment is also with the BB-8 playset, which is used as a First Order kind of base. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box first. The box is a little bit bigger than the usual design since it does have to house the actual Force Link bracelet along with the two figures. But other than that, it's pretty standard for what you see. It has pretty much all the promotions and pretty much all the gimmicks it can do. And on the back, it's pretty much what you expect for this kind of release as well. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the figures more closely. The first figure we're going to look at is the Stormtrooper Executioner. Now, this particular release is also in the 3 3/4 inch Black Series line, but since I do not have a Walmart nearby me, this is pretty much all I'm going to get at the moment. But it's still a really nice design regardless of the fact that it is 5 POA. The one thing I don't really like is that due to how he is posed and how heavy the weapons can be, he does have a tendency to fall over, which is a reason why I had the stand to begin with. As mentioned, the articulation is standard for a 3 3/4 inch 5 POA figure. The head is on a ball joint, swivels at the shoulders, and swivels at the hips. He does include the smaller blaster, which is interesting since a lot of the other figures, and that turned off, but anyways, it does have also the standard blaster as well, and obviously the actual electrocutioner kind of staff weapon, which is really nice looking. I think it turned out pretty decent for the 3 3/4 inch line, even if it isn't articulated like the 6 inches. Next, we're going to take a look at the Elite Praetorian Guard. Now, this is actually technically the third version of the release, since the second version was released with the Snoke playset. But other than that, you're not going to get a whole lot of difference. It does maintain the same articulation points. The ball-jointed head swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the hips with the fused leg design. He does include these two weapons, a really nice looking sword, which is actually something that was released with the 6 inch, and the actual kind of electric whip weapon, which so far has not made its way into the 6 inch line yet, so it's nice to see that. And actually, it might actually have been with the GameStop exclusive / Barnes & Noble exclusive for the Royal Guard set, come to think of it. Before anything else, we're going to take a little comparison with some of the other Stormtroopers we've gotten. Here is the Electrocutioner next to, the Executioner. I got confused with the Marvel character for a second there. Next to several of the other Stormtroopers we've gotten over the line. And it's definitely helping with the large variety of troopers we've gotten with this line. So that's really awesome. We're getting another variant here with this release. This particular trooper's having a hard time actually standing for some reason. And I do not know what's causing that. Anyways, let's try and get this up. Try to hold it. There we go. So, now we're just going to bring a bunch of troopers in to see how they look all together. I think the army is definitely turning out pretty nicely so far. Obviously this is Finn, but we're just going to have it here for comparison purposes. But I'm going to bring this here. And finally the Flame Trooper. Now, this is really awesome that we're getting a ton of variants of these troopers, and although they're kind of generic compared to some of the other releases, I think it's turning out pretty nicely overall. I'm just going to take these off to the side and take one more comparison with the Praetorian card next. So take Executioner off the side and take a look at the Praetorian Guard. As a comparison, here he is next to the only Praetorian Guard I have so far. I think it's nice that we're actually getting these releases, especially before the movie. Although it is weird that there apparently is a fourth one still, and I really don't know what is going to happen, especially the way that Hasbro is releasing these 3 3/4 inches with either multi-packs or exclusive playset figures. But anyways, we're going to take this off to the side and take a look at what pretty much the majority of this price is based on. and that is the Force Link bracelet. Now the bracelet itself's nothing different compared to the other two releases, but it is nice to actually possibly get a hold of this, I guess. I wasn't really looking too forward to this likely, just because it definitely doesn't fit my arm too well, even it does have an elastic band. But I guess it's nice to actually play along with it with the various figures. We're not going to show everything since it's going to be here forever, but we're just going to take a look at these two figures and see what they state. It's a little bit hard to turn on. You kind of need to whack it a bit or something. I don't really know exactly how it works, but here we go.
On your command, secure the prisoner.
So it does have a bunch of sounds, including weapon sounds and a couple of phrases for each figure. Since it is a Stormtrooper, obviously we'll have some lines, but unfortunately for the Elite Praetorian Guard, it does not actually have any worded lines, but instead has a bunch of kind of weapon effects. This thing is supposed to be motion activated, but it's kind of hard to do sometimes. And it usually gets the same phrase over and over again, so you pretty much get the idea of what this particular bracelet does. So that's really cool that we actually got this bracelet to work with, especially since that is the main draw of this particular line. As mentioned earlier, each figure does include the little Force Link symbol there, so that you can activate it with the bracelet. Although sometimes it just doesn't work as well, so maybe if Hasbro found a way to make this thing work a little bit better in retrospect, I think the Force Link bracelet would have been one of the coolest things we've gotten so far in the standard 5 POA line. But because of its current state, it's kind of hard to say if it's a really cool toy or kind of a messy one. I got this at Toys R Us, and obviously it's the only way you can actually get it, so its best bet is to check it online or in store. Anyways, please comment, rate, subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check my Twitter, Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check me on Instagram under Darkon633 as well. And please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to see my content go up as soon as possible. And back with more Star Wars reviews. But for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.